Good afternoon, everyone. The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk call the roll to establish a quorum, please?
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan. Here. Councilmember Tao. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Talamontes. Here. Councilmember Valenzuela.
Here.
Vice Mayor Maple.
Here.
Councilmember Guerra will be absent today. Councilmember Jennings.
Here.
Councilmember Vang. Here. And Mayor Steinberg.
And I am here. Councilmember Vang, would you please lead us in the land acknowledgement? And Councilmember Jennings, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you.
Absolutely. Please rise if you're able.
To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley and Plains Miwok, Patwin and Wintu peoples, and the people of Walton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous peoples, history, contributions, and lives. Thank you.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, a very good afternoon to everyone. Apologize that we are a few minutes late. We had a closed session and it took a little bit longer, but we're very glad to see all of you in chambers and those of you who may be watching online. We begin today with one special presentation. As I understand, presentation one is we're going to postpone that for now.
Excuse me, Mayor Steinberg. I just want to report out that
I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's nothing to report out at a closed session at this time.
Okay, thank you. I always forget that part. There we go. It's good. Okay, we do have a special presentation that will be presented by Councilmember Kaplan. I know we have some very special guests in the audience as well. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. September is National Suicide Prevention Month because it's important to recognize the impact of suicide on individuals, families, and communities. And truly, September is a time to shift perception and raise awareness of this stigmatized topic, because this can happen to anyone regardless of your age, or gender, or background. And we must raise awareness and spread hope and share information to people who've been affected by suicide. We know, according to the most recent data released, that suicide was responsible for over 49,000 deaths in the United States in 2022, approximately one death every 11 minutes. Unfortunately, the youth impact has been rising significantly, and suicide is among the top 9 leading causes of death for ages 10 to 64, but significantly leading causes of death for those 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. I'm proud to know that we heard the impact of mental health from our students at Summer at City Hall, and our high schools have heard this, and our school districts have heard this. And to address the rise in the need of anxiety and suicidal thoughts, Natomas Unified Sac City have prioritized mental health resources for students and families. I know specifically Natomas Unified has added a mental health advisor and therapist to every single one of our schools. This is personal to me. It has affected both sides of my family. My mom is the oldest of 8. I was raised from the time I was 16 months old with my my aunt and my uncles, who were 7, 12, and 13 years older than I. So my Auntie Jeannie was more like an older sister, only being 7 years older than I. 2 weeks after my youngest was born, she committed suicide. My dad's father, my Uncle Barry, committed suicide. This is something we don't hear people talk about. And when I talk about it, it's time to stop and raise awareness and wipe away the stigmatization that we have. The time is now. And so for me, it is important that we acknowledge 2 different organizations that are having a significant impact on trying to raise awareness and raise hope and provide resources so that what has affected me personally doesn't affect other people. I really want to thank WellSpace that has been providing suicide prevention services in Sacramento region since 1953. It is also the second largest suicide prevention center in California, responding to more than 150,000 calls for suicide prevention services in 32 counties on an annual basis. Remember this number. And we have this little bag, 988. It is the resources that we need for suicide prevention. We also have Impact, who is here. And Impact is a grassroots organization serving impacted communities throughout the city who've often been forgotten about or left without a voice. And then through their advocacy and leadership, including those serving impacted by gun violence, human trafficking, suicide, and other community issues. In suicide is most done by gun. There were over 25,000 suicide gun deaths. 6 in 10 out of every gun deaths is a suicide death. And again, this is the fastest rate of increase in over the last decade has been for our younger generation in suicide. So I really want to thank and highlight the work that WellSpace is doing with 988 and with Impact and our community support, because this is not something we can do alone. 1 in 4 people know somebody who's been impacted by suicide, and I guarantee you it's even more because we're so stigmatized we don't talk about it. And so today I would like to invite Leah from Impact and Ben from WellSpace to say a couple of brief words.
Councilmember Kaplan, can I just say something before, as they come on up? Because I just want to thank you and compliment you. Thank you for bringing this forward, and compliment you for having the courage to publicly tell your story. Because when you tell those stories, it is incredibly powerful. It sends a message to anyone and everyone who may be listening, and maybe it gets picked up by the press in some ways and people read about this. It says to anybody who is suffering and contemplating suicide that you are not alone, and that you don't have to do this, that you can reach out to somebody, and that life can get better, and that suicide is often an impulsive act. Maybe there's preparation, but it's also often impulsive, and that your life is precious and life can be good and great. And you telling that story just personalizes it. And you'll never know how many people, how many lives you might save as or else you're doing that. We all need to tell our stories. And this does not have to be the public health epidemic that it is. 988 is helping a lot. And the increased attention being paid to mental health finally in society is helping a lot. But tell your stories and listen to what Councilmember Kaplan just had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Ben, Leah?
Thank you so much. This is such an honor. I learned community service and the value of that at a very young age. And becoming a community advocate, I come into families' lives in their darkest hours, the worst days of their life, usually. And suicide is something that no one wants to talk about. There's a lot of shame attached to it. Suicide is hard because you can't blame anyone. And so it makes it very difficult. Nowadays, with our youth and our young adults, especially like college age, there's such an immense pressure to be perfect. And with suicide and with social media and just the persona of having to be a certain way and have certain things, it's a lot of pressure. And for some individuals, they simply don't want to live because of it. They would rather not be here. And that's scary. It's scary to see the amount of numbers as they rise when it comes to statistics speaking, of just where we are with that. To say 1 in every is difficult, because if you count everybody in this room right now, that means 4, 5, 6 of us may not be here at some point. And so that really is the reality of what we're dealing with. So to me, prevention is key. Getting the awareness out there, talking about things that nobody wants to talk about. These are the difficult conversations that no one wants to have. You really don't see parents talking about this at the dinner table. They just hope it never happens to them. Well, that's not reality. That's not what we're living with. And so I answered many calls last year to suicide. One being of a friend of mine that I knew since high school, and her son, who I've known since birth, took his life by guns. And that is gun violence. And that really put a lot of things in perspective for me, because he was suffering with mental illness and he needed help. He needed help. That's a family that needed to know 988. That's a family that needed advocacy. That's a family that needed help. And so many families right now are crying and screaming out for help, and they just don't know where to get it. And so there's a difference between suicidal ideations and actually the act of wanting to commit suicide. And so if we can get to individuals at the tip of this, when they first start to think about that hopelessness of a feeling of not wanting to be here, that's the preventative measures that we want to be able to give. So giving awareness to this and putting it out there and letting people know that it's okay to have days where you don't feel okay. It's okay to not feel 100%. It's okay to not be perfect, and to be able to provide those resources that families need at times when they don't know who to call or there's embarrassment about who to call. So I really thank you all for acknowledging the work that we do as an organization. It's the hard work, it's heavy work, there's nothing easy about this, and also the events that we do around it, because that really brings awareness and it gets people to show up and come out to see exactly what's going on. And then it creates a safe space for people to talk about it. And so I thank you. I thank you so much, and I thank all of you for listening. I'm used to there being a time clock up here, so this is a little different for me. But I thank you. I thank you for bringing recognition to this, because that allows the community to know that the more recognition we can get, the more we talk about these things, the safer of a space it becomes, and the easier it becomes on us as advocates to provide services. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council member, mayor, council members. I'm joined by Terry Galvin, our Deputy Chief of Crisis Programs, and by Sandra Funk, our Associate Director of 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline Center. And we're here to thank you on behalf of 60 of our colleagues who man the phones. They're responding to those 150,000 calls, texts, chats that we receive 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Because as you said, Mayor, we truly want to make sure that nobody feels alone. There's always a place that they can call, that they can text, that they can chat, that they can check in. And once we're able to start having that conversation, you said hope, and that's the right word. We can try to start instilling a sense of hope in that conversation, because often that's all it takes to start the conversation, to help in that moment, to prevent, to stop that suicide. And that's what our teams are there for. Dr. Porteous sends his regrets. He's on jury duty, but you all know how passionate he is about this, and that passion is all of ours. And with that, we also want to thank all the people that aren't here, all the organizations, all the individuals who intercede at every moment to make sure that they can stop it in that moment. Now, the one last thing that I want to leave you with is two aspects of hope as a community. Number one is 988. 988 has transitioned from 1-800-273-TALK, which I'm sure you all knew, right? To 988. It's simple. It's easy for people to understand. They can remember it in the same way they can remember 911. And that's key, because in that moment, we want them to just know where to go. It's talk, text, and chat, all to the same number. The other aspect of it is Sacramento is leading the way in a lot of ways. You mentioned that we're the second largest crisis center in California. We're working with our partners at the county right now to really integrate the community wellness response teams to make sure that when somebody calls 988, we have somebody that we can send out to help them if that person needs that help. And then if they need to go somewhere, thanks to the investment of the Sacramento City Council, we have the Crisis Receiving Center downtown. That's the third part of the system. We have somewhere to call. We have someone to respond. And thanks to your leadership, we have a place to go. It's not going to solve it, it's not going to fix it, but it is a new approach, an evolving approach that we know works, and we know that it takes the entire community dedicated to doing that work and continue it forward. So thank you for your partnership. Thank you for the appreciation of our team. I know they'll all be watching this online at some point when they're there at 3 a.m. and there's a lull in the calls, but thank you.
Thank you. Mayor, would you like to join me down here? The architect of Prop 63. Come on up. Everybody here, come on up.
You're welcome. All right, I got 2 phones. One more. All right, 1, 2, 3. One moment. Oh, no. Sorry. And I got my camera. Last one, promise. All right. Thank you.
One more. Slide on in. Come on up. Sorry. Get close. Forgot I needed the portrait. Thank you.
Yes. Sit in your chair. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. He's back there. Very poignant, but very good way to start our meeting. Thank you again. We have a very short agenda, actually, today. A consent calendar. I know next couple weeks we've got some significant public hearings on the Youth Commission and Measure L and a number of other things, but today we have a relatively brief calendar. So are there any questions on the consent calendar? On 7, okay. Councilmember Vang?
Just a brief comment on item 1.
Okay, why don't we start then? Do we have public testimony?
We have no public testimony on the consent calendar. I do have one read to the record.
Okay.
Item number 5 is going to be continued. That's agreement purchase of flight pump equipment, parts, services, and technical support. It's going to be continued to a date uncertain.
What number is that again?
Item 5.
Item 5. So the motion will exclude item 5, please, when it's appropriate. Councilmember Vang, item 1.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to make a quick comment. As many of you know, we have limited funding for our active transportation and to improve our streets, and much of our funding come from state and federal grants. And really just wanted to give an opportunity to say thank you to our incredible staff from Public Works, William Mishuk, Jesse Goffin, Ophelia, and also Judy, just for the great work that they do and working really hard on the grant application. This vote today at 2 o'clock will give us authority to apply for the Highway Safety Improvement program grant. And so really just want to thank staff for their hard work. I know they worked really hard to identify various corridors, various streets that have a history of collision. And I took a look at all 17 of those, and they're throughout our city, all throughout our districts. And so really just want to thank staff for their hard work. Yeah, thank you so much, Mayor.
Of course. Councilmember Kaplan, item 7.
Thank you, Mayor, and I just want to call out item 1 as well. I mean, we know we don't have a lot of money for our roads, and I appreciate all the hard work. While there's nothing in D1 and we got to get updated data, I know this is how we make our city safer and what they're doing, so I appreciate that. And then I just want to say thank you for staff on item 7. I had some questions, and there were some meetings and some back and forth, and just appreciate them giving me some time to get some questions answered, and this item is good to go. So I'll make the motion to approve consent calendar continuing item 5.
I'll second.
All right, very good. All in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, abstain. The motion passes. We now move to public comment for items not on today's agenda.
I have one speaker for not on agenda, Henry Harry.
Thank you. Mr. Harry?
Thank you. Sorry. I want to thank every member of the council for the work you do in our community. I want to make a few comments and then create a record. Now, regarding the 102 acres of land in Meadowview, I'd like to see a resolution committing this land to the African American community as part of a package of reparations. This could be a historic moment, and I hope we don't waste it. Now, regarding policing, at some point we should discuss the following. Should we stop outside assignments and contracting of officers as we struggle with crime? Improving the improving the reporting of crime stats. Right now, when I look at crime stats, I can't tell the difference between a shooting victim and a homicide victim. Should we move to a weekly crime stat format? And can we create a document that has much more details? Our city is diligent in putting out press releases on homicides. I'd like to see those press releases include race and age of suspects and victims so the community can see trends and alarm bells. Moreover, we should do press releases on every domestic violence report and every person that is shot. Now, lastly, I think this council should direct the police chief to hold monthly crime meetings that give us detailed information and answer citizens' questions. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of this last item. As a professional law enforcer, I am hurt by what I see in my profession. And I'm convinced that this type of question and answer session with the police would have prevented things like Tyree Nichols or the black men that were shot and tortured by cops in Rankin, Mississippi. So I'll just end by saying there's something in government structure
Thank
that...
you for your comments. Your time is complete.
Yes.
Last thought...
Please come back. You'd be welcome back.
Not a
It's
problem. Thank you.
a lot of topics, important topics. Please come back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Council ideas and questions? Seeing up, Councilmember Kaplan.
On happy notes, we got food truck now in North Lake, which is on the way to the airport this Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. And on Saturday, we still have our farmers market that goes from 8:30 to 12:30 through the end of September, and yoga, free yoga from 9 to 10. And then Impact is hosting their suicide prevention symposium on September 10th at the North Natomas Community Center. If anybody wants to spread the word, it'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. And 988 will be there, as well as a special youth exhibit. If you want to get that information out, I can send it around. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Vang.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few announcements. Just wanted to remind folks that we have the Medview Certified Farmers Market every Sunday at the Medview Light Rail Station from 8 to 12 o'clock, and encouraging folks to come out to support our local farmers market. And then also just wanted to announce 4 upcoming events, 2 in September and 2 in October. As you all know, the city staff will be coming to council close to the end of this year to provide recommendation on high level of next steps of what we're going to do with the 102 acres of development. And so the next few weeks and months is going to be really critical. I want to give a shout out to just our incredible city staff that's been out at the farmers market, been out at multiple community events to educate the community about the opportunity constraint analysis. About a year and a half ago, we did 7 intense listening session, and then we did the opportunity constraint analysis so that we could share that with the community, what we can and can't do on the property. And now we have 4 more sessions left. Session 1, Part A, is September 11th from 6 to 7:30. We are working on securing the location, but it looks like it's going to be at Susan B. Anthony Elementary, which is the school right next to the 102 acres. Session 2, Part B, will be happening September 25th, 6 to 7 o'clock. And then we also are having a youth-led session on the 102 acres. That's going to be October 7th from 6 to 7:30. And then we're going to have a community roundtable discussion with activists, developers, urban planners in our community about the 102 acres on October 21st. And so there are 4 intensive advocacy session that's happening, but the first 2 will be a hybrid. So if you can't participate in person, we're going to make sure that there's a virtual option as well, and really encouraging folks to come out to that. And then lastly, we have several events coming up in District 8, and many of these events are hosted by community groups and also funded by the City of Festival grants. And just wanted to announce that the next one that's coming up, that's the CAPS Autumn Lantern Festival, happening at the Franklin Light Rail Station on September 14th from 4 to 9 o'clock, and really encouraging the community to come out and join us for that. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Tao?
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to make an announcement of our 916 YPC Volunteer Day event. It will be at Johnston's Park this Saturday, September 7th from 9 to 12 p.m. I would like to thank the YPC team, Deanna, and also my park commissioner, Gordon Liu, for taking the lead on this. Johnston Park's a really unique park that, is often forgotten. We also have a community center there that, we're open to ideas on how to reactivate that as well. And, I would be willing to entertain that idea with the community to see how we can do, what we can do to reactivate that community center for the community. It sits vacant at the moment, but then I invite the public to join us for this 916 Volunteer Day. We'll be doing park benches, mulching, and just beautifying the park.
Very good. Thank you. Councilmember Jennings?
Thank you, Mayor. The final Trucks and Such is happening of the year, September the 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. And you might ask the question, what is Trucks and Such?
What is Trucks and Such?
What is Trucks and Such? So the trucks are the incredible food trucks that allow you not to have to fix dinner at home, but to bring your family out there, get a dinner, the meal of your choice. We've got like 9 different types of trucks with every kind of food that you can imagine. You get to eat right there together as a family and as a community. So that's the trucks part. The such is, while you eat, we want to make sure you have entertainment. And so our entertainment for this date, September the 20th from 5 to 8 p.m., is the incredibly talented Vivian Lee, who will be performing jazz from 6 to 8 p.m. So it's a free jazz concert. Wonderful music, incredible food. That's Trucks and Such. It happens all the way through until September. Make sure not only that you come, but call and text a few friends and make sure they come as well. So bring your blankets, your family, your friends, and join in with the delicious food and the incredibly smooth sounds of Vivian Lee. And then my final announcement is also a farmer's market that takes place in Greenhaven Pocket. You get to discover the incredible produce, homemade treats at the Greenhaven Pocket Farmers Market each Saturday from 9 to 1 p.m. at the Elks Lodge right there on Riverside Boulevard. Supporting local farmers and small businesses not only brings delicious and healthy options to our table, but it also strengthens our community. So come on out for a great time at the Farmers Market as well. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Jennings. I know it's short today, but we'll be back at it next week. Nothing else to come before the city council. We're adjourned.
Is that the fact?